Oh, hey, YouTubians. Sorry about. Hey, YouTubians. Sorry about the delay. My system was not working that good. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I have something to show you today. It's from YouTube, from Lincoln's Project. So let's see if I can play it.
In every generation, they stand. In every generation, they serve. In every generation, they sacrifice. For 2.5 centuries, on land, sea, and in the air, they fought and died for an idea bigger than themselves. They are the Americans of every race and faith who swear a sacred oath of honor and live it to the last. And when that moment comes, they lay down their lives for the country they love, protecting their comrades, their families, and their nation. They are the bold angels now, examples to us all. On this day, let us honor their sacrifice and call upon ourselves to walk in their footsteps boldly, for they have led the way to the America we must be. The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, if you want to see more in the better screen and stuff, you can go on YouTube and find it. Let's see here if I can get this thing off. Yay, it's off. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty today. My sunglasses. Today is Memorial Day. We give thanks to all the people that served and died in the wars and stuff. Memorial Day is to remember all the ones that died, not the one on the veterans is on Veterans Day, not on Memorial Day. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go and read my books now. Oh, by the way, my in space, Lulu updated their website, so I have no idea if these are working or not. I know the ebook is working, but I don't know about the other ones. Okay, let's see here. Let's read this. The Colors of Space by Marion Zimmer Bradley. Now if I can find the bookmark. Chapters 5 through 6. Chapter 5. For a moment, the words swirled before Bart's still wandering eyes. He wiped them, trying to steady himself. Had he so soon reached the end of his dangerous quest? Somehow he had expected it to lie in deep, dark concealment. Raynar 1. The existence of the Raynar 1 presupposed a Raynar 2 and probably a Raynar 3. For all he know, Raynars 4, 5, 6, and 66. The building looked solid and real. It had eventually been there a long time. With his hand on the door, he hesitated. Was it, after all, the right 8 colors? But it was family hardly the sort of thing they'd be up to here outside. He pushed the door and went in. The room was filled with brighter light than the Procyon sun. Outdoors, the edges of the furniture rimmed with neon in the Mentorian fashion. A prim looking girl sat behind a desk, or what should have been a desk, except that it looked more like a mirror with a little sparkles of light, different colors in regular rows along one edge. The mirror top itself was blue violet and gave her skin and her violet eyes a blush tinge. She was smooth and lacquered and glittering, and she raised her eyebrows at Bart as if he were some strange form of life she hadn't seen very often. I'd you'd like to see Reynard 1, he said. Her daintily pointed fingernails, varnished blue, stabbed at points of light. On what business? She asked, not caring. It's personal matter. Then I suggest you see him at his home. It can't wait that long. The girl studied the glassy surface and punched at some more of the little light. Name, please. David Briscoe. He had thought her perfect painted face could not show any emotional except disdain, but it did. She looked at him in open, blank consternation. She said into the vision screen, He calls himself David Briscoe. Yes, I know. Yes, sir. Yes. She raised her face, and it was controlled again, but not bored. Reynard 1 will see you through that door and down to the end of the hall. At the end of the hallway was another door. He stepped through into a small cubicle, and the door slid shut like a closing trap. He rolled in panic, then subsided in foolish relief as the cubicle began to rise. It was just an automatic elevator. It rose higher and higher, stopping with an abrupt jerk, and slid open into a lighting room. An office. A man sat behind a desk, watching Bart step from the elevator. The man was very tall and very thin, and gray eyes and intensity of the light told Bart that he was a Mentorian, Reynard 1. Under the steady, stern gray stare, Bart felt like the slow clutching suck of fear again. Was this man a slave as of the Lhari who would turn him over to them, or someone he could trust? His own mother had been a Mentorian. Who are you? Reynard 1's voice was harsh and gave an impression of being loud, though it was not. David Briscoe! It was the wrong thing. The Mentorian's mouth was taut forbidding. Try again. I happen to know that David Briscoe is dead. I have a message for Reynard 3. The cold gray stare never altered. On what business? On a sudden inspiration, Bart said, I'll tell you that if you can tell me what the eighth color is. There was a glint in the grim eyes now, though the even stern voice did not soften. I never knew myself. I didn't name it eight colors. Maybe it's the original owner you want. On a sudden hope, Bart asked, was he by chance named Robert Steele? Rainer one made a suspicious movement. I can't imagine why you think so, he said darningly, especially if you've just come in from Earth. It was never very wisely known. He only named the name to its colors a few weeks ago, and it's for sure that your ship didn't get any messages while the Lari were in the warp drive. You mentioned entirely too many names, but I notice you aren't giving out any further information. I'm looking for a man called Robert Steele. I thought you were looking for Raina 3, said Raynar 1, staring at the Mentorian cloak. I can see. Think of a lot of people who might want to know how I react to certain names, and I find out if I know the wrong people. If they are the wrong people, what makes you think I'd admit it if I did? Now, but thought they had reached a deadlock. Somebody had to trust somebody. This could go on all night. Parley and Raposo question and invasion answer, each of them throwing back the other's questions in verbal fencing match. Raynar 1 wasn't giving away any information, and considering what was probably at stake, Bart didn't blame him much. He flung the Mentorian cloak down on the table. This got me out of trouble the hard way, he said. Never wore one before, and I never intend to again. I want to find Robert Steele because he's my father. Your father? And just how are you going to prove that? A exceptionally interesting statement. Without warning, Bart lost his temper. I don't care whether I prove it or not. You try proving something for a change. Why don't you? If you know Robert Steele, I don't have to prove who I am. Just take a good look at me. Or, so Briscoe told me, a man who called himself Briscoe. Anyway, he gave me papers to travel under that name. I didn't ask for them. He shoved them into my hand. That Briscoe is dead. Bart struck his fist hard on the desk, bending over Raynar 1 angrily. He sent me to find a man named Raynar 3, but the only one I really care about finding is my father. Now, you know as much as I do. How about giving me some information for a change? He ran out of breath and stood glaring at Raynar 1's fist clenched. Raynar 1 got up and said, quick, savage, and quiet. Did anyone see you come in here? Only the only to go downstairs. How did you get through the lorry in that? He moved his head at the Mentorian cloak. Bart explained briefly, and Raynar 1 shook his head. You were lucky. You could have, he said. You could have been blinded. You must have inherited flesh, a combination from the Mentorian side. Robert Steele didn't have it. I'll tell you this much, he added, sitting down again. In the manner of speaking, you're my boss. 8 colors, it used to be Alpha Shipping, is what they call a middleman outfit. The interplanetary cargo lines transport from planet to planet within a system. That's free competition. And the Lottery ship transport from star to star. That's a monopoly all over the galaxy. The middleman outfits arrange for ordinary and business-like liaison between the two. Rupert Steele bought into this company a long time ago, but he left it for me to manage until recently. Right now, punched a button, said to the image of the glassy girl at the desk. Violet, get 3 for me. You may have to send a message to the multi-phase. He swung round to Bart again. You want a lot of explanations. Well, you'll have to get them from somebody else. I don't know what this is all about. I don't want to know. I have to do business with the lorry. The less I know, the less I'm up to say in the wrong to the wrong people. But I promise 3 that if you turned up or if anyone came and asked for the 8th color, I'd send you to him. That's all. And now we're gonna sing some or play some more music. Let's see here. Hmm. Yeah. Let's see if there's any uh, music. Uh, 1 minute. Stupid ads. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. It's been a long way to where we began. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Yeah, no, the things been through, things have been through. That's it right here, it's for you. Another man. Yeah, yes, brings up, pretty sure. Hayes, Hayes, that's even by a place. Oh. Did not talk about family moments or anything so we got everything on the side. Last a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. A long way where we began. I will tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh, wow. Lost. See You Again by Charlie Pouch. Something got everything on the other side. Last long way. Yeah. No bloody memory I should go. And then the wind doesn't take always leads you home, home. It's been a long way to my friend. I want to tell you all about it. I'll see you again. It's a long way to where we began. Oh, I tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Whoa, whoa. See you again. See you again. Okay, that's it. Let's see if we can sing another song. Teardrops. I should have done the karaoke version. Oops. Learn and learn. I didn't even know they had it. Lead me home. Oh. The garden. The garden, huh? Beautiful song for the lost loved ones.
Hey everybody, I'm Laura.
I hate these ads. There. On an empty place, and he looked down upon the earth, and he saw your precious face, and his arms around you, and he lifted you to rest. God's garden must be beautiful. He only takes the best. Only God's garden must be beautiful. He always takes the best. I watch a young soldier take his seat on the plane. The guy by the window said, "Son, what's your name?" He said, "Hi, I'm Jimmy, just back from overseas. And we're supposed to be down in Texas. I'm gonna drop to my knees because I ain't seen my wife in 18 months and 14 days." The man smiled at him and said, "You let me be the first to say, welcome home, welcome home. It's good to have you back where you belong. You fought hard for this land you love, and I thank you for all of us. We're proud to call you one of our own. Welcome home." Then a man looked away and said, "I know how you must feel. Spent 2 long years in Vietnam, and I got back to Jacksonville. There were protest signs and picket lines. Some spit in my face. Hey, I was just a kid trying to make this world a safer place." Then his heart is trembling. In his eyes I saw a tear. Said I didn't need a hero's welcome, but it's sure been nice to hear. Welcome home, welcome home. It's good to have you back where you belong. You fought hard for this land you love, and thank you for all of us. We're proud to call you one of our own. Welcome home. Well, the band was playing and the crowd was cheering as we could walk in through that gate. Then the soldier stopped and turned to the man standing near him, saluted him and said, "Sir, I know it might look late, but welcome home. Welcome home. It's good to have you back where you belong. You fought hard for this land you love, and I thank you for all of us. We're proud to call you one of our own. I'm so proud to call you one of our own. Welcome home." We want to say thanks to all the men and women that died for our country. We are so proud to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Okay, now let's do the national anthem. If I can see, I'll be right back.
Now, Grammarly is one of the best extensions that I personally downloaded.
By the way, just ignore that
It's also super helpful
thing.
for alerts on your clarity, engagement, as well as your grammar and syntax. Once you've written a rough draft of
Ah.
a cover letter, you can use Grammarly to not only check all your spelling, grammar, and punctuation, but it also serves as
I'll be right back. I have to get something. Oh, oops. Stinky little machine. Sorry about that. Let's sing the Star Spangled Banner, why don't we? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watch was so gladly streaming in the rocket's red glare. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave of the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, that was short. I want to sing the rest of the song. I don't play again. Oop. Let's see if I can find the Star Spangled Banner. I can't see. Let's see here. In the rocket's red glare, and the bombs buzzing mid-air, April. Let's see if this works. Sounds better, doesn't it? See if it has all the verses. Everybody stand! I can't stand because I'll say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so bright we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watch was so gladly streaming in the rocket's red glare. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave of the land of the free and the home of the brave. Really? That's it? You would think they would have all the songs, all the verses. I still can't find all the verses, can I? Can never find all the verses.
True or false? 1 in 3 people
I hate when this does this and you can't skip it till the thing's over. Let's see. Why can't I find the one version? Okay, I really need to find why these people do not play the full version. Huh. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna sing something else. Uh, 1,000 years. Bum, bum, bum. Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty and all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And I believe I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. I I have dialed along. I believe I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Okay. Wow. Hey, everybody's disappearing on me. Probably because I'm a bad singer. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Songs. Yeah, I just wanted to have some songs to break up the monotony of these books. Okay, let's see if I can see where I left off. He motioned Bart ungraciously to a seat and shut his mouth firmly, as if he had already said too much. Bart sat. After a while, he heard the elevator again. The panel slid open, and Raynard 3 came into the room. It had to be Raynard 3. There was no one else he could have been. He was as like Raynard 1 as Tweedledee. Oh no, Tweedledum to Tweedledee. Tall, stern, eccentric, and grim. He wore the full uniform of a Mentorian on the large ships. The white smock of a medic, the metallic blue cloak, the low silvery sandals. He said, "What's doing, one? Violet?" And then he caught sight of Bud. His eyes narrowed, and he drew a quick breath, his face twisting up in apprehension and shock. "It must be Steele's boy," he said, and immediately Bart saw the difference between the brothers, for Reynard One's face, controlled and stern, had not altered all during their interview. But Reynard 3's smile was weary and kindly at once, and his face was low and gentle. He's the image of Rupert. Did he come in on his own name? How'd he manage it? No, he had David Briscoe's papers. So the old man got through, said Reynard 3, with a low whistle. But that's not safe. Quick, give them to me, Bart. The Larry have them. Reynard 1 walked to the window and said in his deadpan voice, "It's useless, but get the kid out of here before they come looking for him. Look." He pointed below them. The streets were alive with uniformed Laurie and Mentorians. Bart felt sick. If they had the same efficiency with red tape that we humans have, he'd never have made it this far. Reynard 3 actually smiled. But you can count on them for that much inefficiency, he said, and his eyes twinkled for a moment at Bart. That's how it was so easy to work the old double shuffle trick on them. They had Steele's description, but not his name, so Briscoe took Steele's papers and managed to slip through. Once they landed on Earth, they had the Steele names, but by the time that cleared, you were outbound with another set of papers. It may have confused them because they knew David Briscoe was dead, and there was just a chance you were an innocent bystander who could raise a real row if they pulled you in. Did old Briscoe get away? No, Bart said harshly. He's dead. Reynard 3's mobile face held shocked sadness. "Two brave men," he said softly. "Edmund Briscoe, the father. David Briscoe, the son. Remember the name, Bart. because I won't remember it. Why not? Raynor 3 gave him a gold glittering economic glance. I'm a Matorian, remember? I'm good at not remembering things. Just be glad I remember Rupert Steele. If you'd been a few days later, I wouldn't have remembered him, though I promised to wait for you. Raynor 1 demanded. Get him out of here, 3! Raynor 3 swung to Bart. Put that on again. He indicated the Mentorian cloak. Pull the hood right over your head. Now, if we meet anyone, say polite good afternoon in Lari. You can speak Lari, and leave the rest of the talking to me. Bart felt like cringing as they came out into the street full of Lari, but Raynor 3 whispered, Attack is the best defense, and went up to one of the Lari. What's going on, Rico Murray? Rico Murray? A passenger on the ship got away without going through decontamination. He may spread disease, so of course we have alerted all authorities, the Lari said. As the Lari strode past, Raynor 3 grimaced. Clever, that. Now the whole planet will be hunting for any stranger worrying themselves into a fit about some unauthorized germ. We'd better get you to a safe place. My country house is a good way off, but I have a copter, Bart demanded as they climbed in. Are you taking me to my father? Wait till we get to my place, Raynor 3 said, taking the controls and putting the machine in the air. Just lean back and enjoy the trip, huh? But relaxed against the cushions, but he still felt apprehension. Where was his father? If he was a fugitive from the Lari, he might by now be at the other end of the galaxy. But if his father couldn't travel on Lari ships, and if he had been here, the chances were that he was still somewhere in the Procyon system. They flew for a long time across low hills, patchwork agriculture districts, towns, and then for a long time over water. The copter had automatic controls, but Raynor 3 kept it on manual, and Bart wondered if the Mentorian just didn't want to talk. It began to descend at last toward a small green hill, bright in the last gold rays of the sunset. A small dome-like pink bubble rose out of the hill. Raynor 3 set the copter neatly down on a platform that slid shut after them, unfastened their seatbelts, and gave Bart a hard hand to climb out. He ushered him into a living room of glass and chrome, softly lighting but deserted and faintly dusty. Raynor pushed a swift, soft music came on, and the carpets crested his feet. He motioned Bart to a chair. You're safe here for now, for a while, Raynor 3 said. Though how long nobody knows, but so far I've been above suspicion. Bart leaned back. The chair was very comfortable, but the comfort could not help him to relax. Where is my father? He demanded. Raynor 3 stood, looking down at him, his mobile face drawn and strange. I guess I can't put it off any longer, he said softly. Then he covered his face with his hands. From behind them, hoarse words came, choked in emotion. Your father is dead, Bart. I killed him. End of chapter 5 of The Colors of Space by Marion Zimmer Bradley. I know I'm gonna get to chapter 6. Sorry about that. I need to get this jacket off. It's getting a little hot in here. Yeah. I only wrote this for the natural anthem. Ugh. Oh, boy. There we go. I hope I can play some music in the background when I read the book. Gets a little boring without music playing in the background. Oh, I better turn down the music on the thing just in case. I don't want to get in trouble, but I like my music playing. Let's see here. I barely even see what I'm doing here. Here we go. That helps. Still only one viewer. Man, my voice can't change anymore. Oh. And I miss the island of the mountain below. I keep your watch of your mind and soul. Of my life, deep in my eyes, there you could find what you need. Give me your life, the lust and the lies, the path you're afraid of might see. Looking and running away from me, yeah, you my beloved. I love her, I'm yours. And death shall not part us. It's you I died for. Better or worse, forever will be. The loving unites us, and it binds you to me. It's a mystery. The love of my life, deep in my eyes, there you will find what you need. I'm the giver of life. I clothe you in right, my immaculate bride you will be. Come running home to me, yeah. You're my beloved. I love her, I'm yours. And your death shall not part us, because you were died for. The better or worse, forever will be. And the loving unites us, and it binds you to me. No, to been a mistress, my wife. Each thing lovers and won't satisfy. Won't you let me make you my bride? You will drink of my lips, new taste, new life. You're my beloved. I love her, I'm yours. Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole song. I'm gonna play Christ is Risen. This is from the live church TV online, so I hope you like it, and I hope I can let you see it. I like this version. If you want to see it, you can go on YouTube to see a better video of it.
Inside the light, inward shame, but fix our eyes on the cross and run to Him. Show great love and glad.
If you want to see the full version, you can go right there, but I'm going to go and skip to the where they start speaking. Oh, where is it? I had this set. There it is.
And I saw him, death with his mighty sting, exhaling in every breath the plight he brings. To the grave he gave victory, triumphing over life with the fear of his sleep. Endlessly we hide from our mortality. Mortally wounded from birth, we lie to ourselves from infancy, infinitely investing time in a life that will inevitably be taken by this incredible creature that now stands before me. Death. He manifests himself on ordinary days. His 6-foot stomach growls with hunger pains. For his meal he cannot wait, so we are forced to taste him even before the grave. We are all dying, there is no other way. I see him in Haitian and Japanese earthquakes. He's hating the escapees of his cruel wakes. I see him in poverty, impoverishing the quality of life for regions that are reachable, and in those with the reach who find reason not to reach out to treat what is treatable. I see him in disease, taking life out of uninfected yet affected families. I see him in oppression, pressing down on the oppressed and the oppressor. I see him in depression, in Prozac and painkillers and razor blades and bedside wills. I see him in abuse, physical, mental, emotional misuse. I see him in spiritual confusion, material obsession, physical possessions. I see him in marital transgressions, childhood remorse from an ugly divorce. I see him in our slavery to appearances, appearing to care more about our images than those in dying villages. I see him in our ignorance, ignoring truth for some comfortable inference. I see his emergence in our churches as we pour out emergency verses as deterrents to religious differences, going on the defensive, defending our way of worship, making community worthless. Death is killing us before we even enter the surface of the earth. We are in service of his words. It is finished. The end of our birth. We cannot hide from his wretched curse. For death and his grave, we constantly rehearse. Even God himself was coerced. Divinity immersed itself in humanity, humbly taking on flesh, scorning vanity. The world saw his way of life as insanity, insisting he cease speaking of this radical Christianity. But man found him guilty, accusing God of blasphemy, performing the ultimate usurpation by slaying Christ on Calvary. But through their cowardly cross, Jesus lost mankind with amnesty, championing over death with the beauty of his fatal injury. And I know many still doubt, and rightfully so, bringing up this inquiry. What does that poor Jewish man dying on a Roman tree 2,000 years ago have to do with me? I reply simply, Christ came and died to marry his bride to be. And though death could kill the groom, it could not kill the ring. God made us one with Christ, and life and matrimonies cling. Now the undying church, his ever-living wife, can sing. Oh death, where is your sting? Oh grave, where is your victory? For we have risen above your misery. We will not succumb to your finality. We have overcome your infamous mystery and the infinite reign of Christ's ministry. For we are the resurrection, the insurrection of fatality. We are the risen deity, the intersection of a dead yet living body. We live through imperfections, for we die to become holy. We cannot be contained by the mouth of the grave. We are the willing slaves, the one who rose from that garden cave. We pass through death to new birth. We gave the claim to the earth. We claim today the cross's work. The body of his rising. We are the risen church. Christ.
Okay, if you want to watch the rest of it, it's on YouTube. Just to let you guys know. Of course, this is on YouTube too, but oh well. I can't play the whole thing, and this is fair use, I hope. They consider that fair use, just doing that? I don't know. And I'm going to read The Cause of Space by Marion Zimmer Bradley, Chapter 6. I'm not going to undo the voices because it's really slowing me down, and we're already an hour and 1 minute now into the show, and I'm really, okay, and we have a couple pages, and we still have to read my book still. So, stay tuned. Hope everybody stay tuned. There was 3, and then it went to 1 and all this stuff. Okay, Chapter 6. For a moment, I'm going to take my sunglasses off to read this now. Chapter 6. For a moment, Bart stared, frozen, unable to move, his very ears refusing the words he heard. Had this all been another cruel trick? Then, a trap? A betrayal? He rose and looked wildly around the room, as if the glass walls were a cage closing in on him. Murderer! He flung at Raynor, and he took a step toward him, his clenched fist coming up. He'd been shoved around too long, but here he had one of them right in front of him. And for once, he'd hit back. He'd start by taking Raynor 3 apart in small pieces. You rotten murderer! Raynor 3 made no move to defend himself. Bart, he said compassionately, sit down and listen to me. No, I'm no murderer. I shouldn't put it that way. Bart's hands dropped to his sides, but he heard his voice crack with pain and grief. I suppose you'll tell me he was a spy or a traitor, and you had to kill him. Not even that. I tried to save your father. I did everything I could. I'm no murderer, Bart. I killed him, yes. God forgive me. Because I'll never forgive myself. Bart's fist unclenched, and he stared down at Raynor 3, shaking his head in bewilderment and pain. I knew he was dead. I knew it all along. I was trying not to believe it, but I knew. I liked your dad. No. I liked your father. I admired him. He took a long chance, and it killed him. I could have stopped him. I should have stopped him. But I couldn't. But how could I? Where did I have the right to stop him after what I did to... He stopped, almost in mid-word, as if a switch had been turned. But Bart was not listening. He swung away, striding to the wall as if he would kick it in, striking it with his 2 clenched fists, his whole being in revolt. Dad! Oh, Dad! I kept going. I thought at the end of it, you'd be here, and it would all be over. But here I am, at the end of it all, and you're not here. You won't ever be here again. Dimly he knew when Raynor 3 rose and left him alone. He leaned his head on his clenched fist and cried. After a long time he raised his head and blew his nose, his face setting itself in new hard, painful reality. His father was dead. His dangerous, dead in earnest game of escape had no happy ending of reunion with his father. They couldn't sit together and laugh about how scared he had been. His father was dead, and he, Bart, was alone and in danger. His face looked very grim indeed, and years older than he was. After a long time, Raynor 3 opened the door quietly. Come and have something to eat, but I'm not hungry. Well, I am, Raynor 3 said, and you ought to be. You'll need it. He pulled knobs, and appropriate tables and chairs extruded themselves from the wall. Raynor unsealed hot cartons and spread them on the table, saying lightly, "Looks good, but not that I can claim credit. I subscribe to a food service that delivers them hot by pneumatic tube." Bart felt sickened by the thought of eating, but when he put a polite fork in the food, he discovered that he was famished and ate up everything in sight. When they had finished, Raynor dumped the cartons into the disposal chute, went to a small portable bar and put a glass into his hand. "Drink this." Bart touched his lips to the glass, made a face, and put it away. "Thanks, but I don't drink." "Call it medicine. You'll need something," Raynor 3 said crossly. "I've got a lot to tell you, and I don't want you going off half-primed in the middle of a sentence. If you'd rather have a shot of tranquilizer, all right. Otherwise, I prescribe that you drink what I gave you." He gave Bart a quick, wary grin. "I really am a medic, you know." Feeling like a scalded child, Bart drank. It burned his mouth, but after it was down, he felt a sort of warm burning in his insides that gradually spread a sense of well-being all through him. It wasn't alcohol, but whatever it was, it had quite a kick. Oh, man. "Thanks," he muttered. "Why are you taking this trouble, Raynor? There must be danger. Don't you know?" Raynor broke off. "Obviously you don't. Your mother never said much about your Mentorian family tree, I suppose. She was an Raynor." He smiled at Bart a little ruefully. "I won't claim a kinship privileges until you decide how much you trust me." Raynor 3 settled back. "It's a long story, and I only know part of it," he began. "Our family, the Raynors, have traded with the Lari for more generations than I can count. When I was a young man, I qualified as a medic on the Lari ships, and I've been a star hopping ever since. People called us the slaves of the Lari. Maybe we are," he added wearily, "but I began it just because space is where I belong, and there's nowhere else that I've ever wanted to be, and I'll take it at any price. I never questioned what I was doing until a few years ago. It was your father who made me wonder if we Mentorians were blind and selfish. This privilege ought to belong to everyone, not just the Lari. More and more, the Lari monopoly seemed wrong to me, but I was just a medic, and if I involved myself in any conspiracy against the Lari, they'd find it out in the routine psych checking, and then we worked all how it could be done. Before every trip with self-hypnosis and self-suggestion, I erase my own memories, a sort of artificial amnesia, so that the Lari can't find out any more than I want them to find out. Of course, it also means that I have no memory while I'm on the Lari ships of what I've agreed to while I'm. His face suddenly worked, and his mouth moved without words, as if he had run into some powerful barrier against speech. It was a full minute while Bart stared in dismay before he found his voice again, saying, "So far, it was just a sort of loose network trying to put together stray bits of information that the Lhari didn't think important enough to censor. And, and then came the big breakthrough. There was a young apprentice astrogator named David Briscoe. He taken some runs in special test ships and read some extremely obscure research data from the early days of contact between men and Lhari, and he had a wild idea. He did the bravest thing anyone has ever done. He stripped himself of all identifying data so that if he died, no one would be in trouble with the Lhari, and stowed away on Lhari's ship. But Mart's lips were dry. Didn't he die in a warp drive? Slowly, Raynor 3 shook his head. No, he didn't. No drugs, no cold sleep, but he didn't die. Don't you see, Bart? He leaned forward urgently. It's all fake. The Lhari have just been saying that to justify their refusal to give us the secret of the catalyst that generates the warp drive frequencies. Such a simple lie, and it worked for all these years. Mentorian found him and didn't have the heart to turn him over to the Lhari, so he was smuggled cleared again. But when the Mentorian underwent the routine brain check at the end of the voyage, the Lhari found out what had happened. They didn't know Briscoe's name, but they wrung that Mentorian out like a wet dishcloth and got a description that was as good as a fingerprint. They tracked down young Briscoe and killed him. They killed the first man he talked to. They killed the second. The third was your father. The murdering devils. Raynor sighed. Your father and Briscoe's father were old friends. Briscoe's father was dying with an incurable heart disease. His son was dead, and old Briscoe had only one thought in his mind, to make sure he didn't die for nothing. So he took your father's papers, knowing they were as good as death warrant, slipped away and boarded a Lhari ship that led roundabout to the stars, where the message hadn't reached yet. He led them a good chase. Did he die, or did they track him down and kill him? Bart bowed his head and told the story. Meanwhile, Raynor 3 continued. Your father came to me knowing I was sympathetic, knowing I was a Lhari-trained surgeon. He had just one thought in his mind, to do again what David Briscoe had done and make sure the news got out this time. He cooked up a plan that was even braver and more desperate. He decided to sign on a Lhari ship as a member of the crew. As a Mentorian? Bart asked. But something cold, like ice water, trickled down his back, told him that this was not what Raynor meant. The brainwashing? No, said Raynor. Not as a Mentorian. He couldn't have escaped the sight checking as a Lhari. Bart gasped. How? Men and Lhari are very much alike, Raynor 3 said. A few small things, skin color and shape of the ears, the hands and claws, keep humans from seeing that the Lhari are men. Don't say that, Bart yelled. Those filthy murdering devils! You call those monsters men? I lived among them, Lhari, all my life. They're not devils, Bart. They have their reasons. Psychologically, the Lhari are, well, humanoid, if you like that better. They're a lot more like men than men is like, for instance, a gorilla. Your father convinced me that with a minor plastic and facial surgery, he could pass as a Lhari, and finally I gave in and did the surgery, and it killed him. Not really. It was a completely unforeseeable thing. A blood clot broke loose in a vein and lodged in his brain. He was dead in seconds. It could have happen at any time, he said. Yet I feel responsible even though I keep telling myself I'm not, and I'll help you as much as I can for his sake and for your mother's. The Lhari don't watch me too closely. They figure that anything I do, they'll catch in the brainwashing. But I'm still one step ahead of them as long as I can erase my own memories. Bart was shifting, shifting it all slowly in his mind. Why was Dad doing this? What could he gain? You know, we can build ships as good as the Lhari ships, but we don't know anything about the rare catalyst they use for warp drive fuel. Captain Steele had hopes of being able to discover where they got it, but couldn't they find out where the Lhari ships go for fueling? No, there's no way to trail a Lhari ship, he reminded Bart. We can follow them inside a star system, but when they pop into warp drive, and we don't know where they go when they aren't running between our stars. We've gathered together what information we do have, and we know that after a certain number of runs in our part of the galaxy, ships take off in the direction of Ataris. There's a ship due to come in here in about 10 days called the Swift Wing, which is just about due to make the Antares run. Whew. Captain Steele had managed to arrange, I don't know how, and I don't want to know how, for a vacancy on that ship, and somehow he got credentials. You see, it's a very good spy system, a network between the stars, but the weak link is this. Every message, every man has to travel back and forth by the Lhari ships themselves. He rose, shaking it all off impatiently. Well, it's finished now. Your father is dead. What are you going to do? If you want to go back to Vega, you can probably convince Solari you're just an innocent bystander. They don't hurt bystander or children, Bart. They aren't bad people. They're just protecting their business monopoly. The safest way to handle it would be this. Let me erase your memories of what I've told you tonight, and just let the Lhari capture you. They won't kill you. They'll just give you a light psych check. When they find out you don't know anything, they'll send you back to Vega, and you can spend the rest of your life in peace, running Vega interplanet in 8 colors. Bart turned on him furiously. You mean go home like a good little boy and pretend none of this ever happened? What do you think I am, anyhow? Bart's chin sat in a new hard line. What I want is a chance to go on where Dad left off. Oh, man. It won't be easy, and it could be dangerous, Reynard 3 said. But there's nothing else to be done. We had the arrangements all made, and now somebody's got to take the dangerous risk of calling them off. Are you game for a little plastic surgery? Just enough to change your looks again with new forged papers? You can't go by the Swift Wing. It doesn't carry passengers, but there's another route you can take. Bart sprung up. No, he said. I know a better way. Let me go on the Swift Wing in Dad's place as a Lhari. Bart, no, Reynard 3 said. You'll never get away with it. It's too dangerous. Bart, his gold eyes glittered. Why not? I speak Lhari better than Dad ever did, and my eyes can stand Lhari light. You said yourself it's going to be a dangerous job just calling off all the arrangements, so let's not call them off. Just let me take Dad's place. Bart, you're only a boy. What? Was Dave Briscoe? No, Reynard. Dad left me a lot more than Vega Interplanet, and you know it. I'll finish what he started, and then maybe I'll begin to deserve what he left me. Raynor 3 gripped Bart's hand. He said in a voice that shook, "All right, Bart, your father's son. I can't say more than that. I haven't any right to stop you." End of chapter 6 of The Colors of Space by Marion Zimmer Bradley. We will read chapter 7 next week if I can get it arranged. Okay, The Colors of Space by Marion Zimmer Bradley is done for now. It's time to read my book, My Story in Space, chapter 3. Now if I can get it. So I mean, out of the paper book this time. Big paperback. Man, my voice is a little off today. And let's see here. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna read the ending of the last part here. Okay. Day, May 4th, 2015. Early morning. The map woke me up. I looked and I did not see Cat anywhere. I guess they left for Peanut already. The map told me to get around. There's somewhere I should go to see. So I started to wake myself up and looked at the map again. And it told me to go into the cave that was directly in front of me. I stared to walk towards the cave and made it into the cave opening. Once inside, I found a painting with planets and gate addresses on it. I couldn't find the gate address for Earth Gate again, but I wrote the ones down from the cave. As I started to leave the cave, something grabbed me. What? Didn't grab him! Ha ha! Now we can find out in chapter 3. The object that grabbed me turned into a mask and a spacesuit. Then the map flashed and it transported me into space. I almost got run over by a spaceship, but he did not stop. That's rude! But the map transported me instead of weapons on it. I didn't know where I was going or where I was in the ship, so I just sat there and waited until it stopped. But someone came and grabbed me and took me to the captain of the ship. The ship is still going somewhere, but the captain asked me who I was and how I got on the ship. Before I answered, the map flashed and I disappeared off the ship right in front of the captain. Now I found myself on top of the gate on a different planet, and the spaceship was gone. It was around nighttime, so I was not able to get off the gate very fast, so I fell asleep on top of the gate. May 5th, 2015. Location unknown. On top, then on the ground. Well, today I'm sore over from jumping off the gate. Man, that was stupid. I was telling myself I wish I can rest and look at this planet, but map started glowing again and the gate started turning like before. Then the gate just opened and I was having trouble walking through the gateway. When I got to where I was supposed to be, I looked up and saw that I was back on my home planet. But this is not right. Where is the city? Day, May 5th, 1812, during the war. Planet, Peanut. I went over to where the city was and found out it's full of ashes and all people are gone. Then I realized this isn't the time we were under the attack and all the people are in the mountains taking cover. Then the map told me to go into the cave. Into the cave opening by the gate. So I went to the cave. When I stepped in it, and then the cave sealed up behind me. I have no idea why the cave sealed up, but I know there is no escape. The map knew where we were going. Or does it? So why bring me in here? I will probably find out by tomorrow. I should get some sleep and get off my leg. That is sore. Day, May 6, 1812, early morning. Planet, Peanut. Location, inside of a cave. I woke up with my leg healed from jumping off the gate, and then a video tape fell on my head. Ouch! Why does this always happen to me? First my leg, and then my head. I put it in my pocket, and then a list of gate addresses which appeared on some paper on the floor. And I looked at it some more. Then it just started to glow. I did not know why it was glowing, but must mean something. So I tried to put it in my pocket, but it just got brighter. The paper was glowing so bright that I could read the tape that was in my pocket that read the history of Planet Peanut from 1709 through 2011. Now wait a moment. My paper was on this planet when we made it year one, but we came from Earth around 2121. The time I left was 2015. How could this be a year behind? Well, I wish I had something to play this tape on, but then the map transported me again to the year 2011. Everything was different. The city was gone. Everyone else was gone. There was only one girl that was coming towards me. I thought I was dreaming. She had brown hair, a yellow shirt, and blue jeans, and has blue eyes like mine. I thought she was the girl from my dreams, but she was not. She came closer, and I asked for my name, and so I told her. She asked for my name. Oh man, that was made wrong. My name is Stain Vernon. What happened here? And what was your name? What was your name? She smiles and told me, my name is Tammy, and I was waiting for you a long time to give you this meal so you won't go hungry on your journeys. And what happened here? I came back here through time to warn you about that the people are all gone. You have to save them all by going to Earth. After she told me that, I ate the food and saved some for later. I was about to say thanks, but the stupid map transported me again to a planet named Dishes. Day, May 6, 2011, planet Dishes. Location, in front of the gate. I'm not on the planet that sells dishes for a living. The planet was covered dishes. Wait, I heard something coming. I looked this time, and behold, it was another girl. But this one has brown hair and is wearing a dress, but has the same eye color as the other one I met. She came over and asked for my name, so I told her my name and asked her what hers. But instead, just telling me, she came over and started to brush my hair and said, my name is Hannah, and I want you to stay for a little while and rest. So I did what Hannah told me to do. It was getting dark when the map transported me again, and I heard a voice. Before the transporting stopped, it said, it's been a long time since I saw you last. The voice came from Hannah. When the transportation was over, I was home in the right time, but a different day. End of chapter 3 of my story in space. If you want to get a copy or paperback or ebook version, it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Right now, I don't know what Lulu is doing. It's messing up. I don't know if it's going to be fully done or not. So that is the end of this show. I have 1 hour and 31 minutes on my show. and I hope you like it. So long, goodbye. I don't know this song. So long, goodbye. I really need to know the song. Here's from some Scapula from the Quantum Leap soundtrack, Somewhere in the Night. The day away. The blue and the rain. Go into the dark. Away. I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna get the lyrics to the song. There's somewhere in the night. Okay, oh, wait a minute. I'm looking it up on the wrong one. Okay, let's see if I can do this right. I like this song, so don't judge. Day I walked away. All the blue road into gray. Now in the dark, alone I lay. Should have stopped, but I could never ever stay. Somewhere in the night, inside my dreams you burn so bright. And I'm with you there and everything's alright. Somewhere in the night, before the darkness turns to light. Let me love you there, somewhere in the night. Second chances I won't get. Wanna dare to hope, and yeah, and everywhere I turn, I see your silhouette. Been so long, but I never will forget. And somewhere in the night, inside my dreams you burn so bright. I'm with you there and everything's alright. Somewhere in the night, before the darkness turns to light. Let me love you there, somewhere in the night. Time after time I find that I'm thinking about you. Up on the hill I see you still, but I just can't reach. Who will answer your prayers? Who will wait by the stairs? Not me, not me. And somewhere in the night, inside my dreams you burn so bright. I'm with you there and everything's alright. Somewhere in the night, before the darkness turns to light, let me see your face, feel your warm embrace. Let me love you somewhere in the night. on, the next one's playing. Oh no. There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna sing the other verses of the Star Spangled Banner. I'm not gonna sing in the first one. On the shore dimly see the, oh, on the shore, oh, on shore dimly sing through the midst of the deep, with the falls haughty host in dread silent reposes. What is that which the breeze over the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half concealed, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh long may it wave, over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Sorry about that. I'm really bad at this. And where is that band who so valiantly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country, should leave us no more? Their blood was washed out, their foes' footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the. I'm just gonna read it instead. And where is that band who is vainly swore that the havoc of war and the battle confuse, a home and country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their fall footsteps pollution. I'm gonna sing write the whole thing down. Read it the whole thing. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose brown stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watch, what so gladly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave, on the shore dimly seen through the midst of the deep, with the foes haughtily host in the dread silent repose? What is that which the breeze over the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh long may it wave, over the land of the free and the home of the brave. And where is that band who is vainly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight of the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever when freemen should stand between their loved home and war desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heavens rescue land. Praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, then our cause it is just, and this be our motto. In God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Please like this video if you like it. Subscribe and hit the notification button subscribe for this channel to make sure you get notified when a new video has been released. It's been Thunderhead Pictures on Memorial Day of 2020. And you've been caught in the storm. See ya. No, wrong mouse pad.